Alright, alright, alright. Shoo, Dark Souls. Well, young first-time players, welcome to this game. This is Dark Souls. It's not... I mean, I wouldn't say I've played this game often. Like, I must have finished it close to 50 times, and it's certainly... Let me turn the sound down on my TV. It certainly gets easier the more you play it, that's for sure. And to me now, Dark Souls has become a type of a... Oh, for goodness sakes, these buttons, they drive me crazy. It's become sort of a... I don't know, like you form a map in your mind of this game. Dark Souls is like, if you don't know it, it's a third-person action RPG, very deep role-playing game. There we go. With heavy on the exploration and heavy on the difficulty. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through each level, and even though this is an open world game, you know, there are distinctive levels that break up each area. That is only on the front of your mind once you've played the game many times, but the first time it's just a beautiful, sprawling adventure, and we're going to go through it together, and it's the most fun. You know, it's just a wonderful, uplifting game. I know everyone says it's difficult and dark, but I find it challenging and accepting and open, and this is the best version of Dark Souls. Like the original one on PlayStation 3 and the one I played on Xbox and PC, those are janky, you know, but you still love them. The mechanics were solid, but now they've done so many quality of life changes that it's almost a different, feels like a different game to what it was. Just an accepting game for newcomers. Well, let's start with sex. Male, female makes zero difference. I always pick female. Class. This game, it's not really about classes because it's open-ended. You can make whatever you want with these points. You know, with your with these vitality, your attunement, your endurance. If this doesn't make sense to you, if none of this makes sense to you, it will. But for now, I'm going to choose the deprived. This person here, this handsome Shrek female. She may be, maybe I'm not sure. Her stats are even, so I can get her out how I want. Let's see. Oh. Now, sure, you can pick one of these things. The only good one is this, the master key. Physique, no difference. Let's go for very slim ones. Yes. Oh, very nice. The character creation is like from 2011, so it's ugly as hell. We'll do braided, and we'll do it blue. Wait, golden braid. I wish it was a bit darker. That Jubilant Katrina. Yes, looks good. Maybe the hair, I don't know. Anyway, you're not going to see this face most of the time. Let's watch the intro sequence, which will make no sense to you. But once you've played it 2 or 3 times, you've read the lore, and there's a lot of it, it'll make perfect sense.
The world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons.
You do fight a few dragons in Dark Souls, and they can be tough.
But then there was fire. And with fire came disparity.
I remember the first time I saw this cinematic, I was so blown away, but I was so confused.
And death. And of course, light and dark. Then, from the dark,
there they are, the furtive pygmies.
And found the souls of lords.
Probably wrong.
Within the flame.
This bitch. That guy there, one of the easier bosses in the game.
The first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith.
Oh, worst boss in the game.
And the Daughters of Chaos.
Jesus, dude. That boss is terrible.
The Lord of Sunlight.
Gwyn.
And his faithful knights.
We will take down all those faithful knights, don't worry.
And the furtive pygmy.
Oh no, Sid, there's the furtive pygmy.
Easily forgotten.
Here he is. Or her.
With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons.
The dragons were really a big aspect of the plot in the second one.
Mighty lords.
Like, there are dragons in the game, but not really focused on that, except in the DLC where it isn't focused. But in the second, the Dark Souls 2, there's go on and on about dragons. Like, dragons are the coolest thing ever. Like, skeletons are a lot cooler. Give me a good skeleton.
And see the scales betrayed his own, and the dragon.
Oh, sure. You keep watching this. I'll be right back.
Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers. And man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
Dark Souls time. I love these loading screens. They're full of juicy information.
Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead.
I don't know yet about the audio mixing in this. I'm using the Elgato HD60
and in
capture.
This land,
I don't know how the audio mixes, so we'll see. Well, welcome to it. This is the tutorial stage, where the game leads you through each aspect, and even though it does, it's still quite confusing. But I will explain everything as we go along, as you need to know, because there's so much to this game. It's one of the deepest games you get.
This
like literally
is your fate.
Not literally. There's an endless amount of customization and ways to play and things to find. Wow. There you are, just a corpse. But after this stage, you will not be a corpse. Hollow. You're hollow. Hey, that guy. Oh, here we are. Here's my beautiful woman. I set up the controls on the Switch to make it as easy as possible for me. Oh, let's turn the dark brightness up a bit because it's way too bright on the Switch one for some reason. Way too bright. I mean, way too dark. Like a 7's a bit better. There we go. Okay, so there's two types of controls. There's the R1, that's a light control, and there's an R2, that's a heavy attack. Oops. And if you hit the walls, the fighting combat can seem janky at first, but when you get used to it, it's the best combat you'll have in any game, and every piece of game combat after this will just be total dreck. You can read messages on the ground left to you by the developers or other people in the Dark Souls community, or you can not read them. But I advise reading all these things, especially before a boss, or if you see them popping up, it means there's something secret or hidden, and you just gotta go for it. The camera controller is with R, you move around with L, and we have an enemy. You lock on by clicking the R stick, and then you just attack. Every time you attack, two things happen. You get some soul, in the bottom right corner over there. I've got 20 soul from this weak, pathetic corpse. And your energy, your stamina bar, goes down. That's that green bar. So I suggest, as you go along, putting in a lot of points into your stamina, because nothing is more important than stamina in this game. But once you've reached like level 100, level 120, you're not going to really think about stamina. Oh, there's a boss for later on. This bloodstain here shows that other people, because it's an online game, have died around you. Well, that's amazing. Yeah, he died. Well, you better get used to it. You can also backstab enemies if you get it right. Not this one, obviously. Oh, we got a message. Right. Dashing consumes energy. The more you spam your R2, the harder you hit. Holding B makes you climb the ladder faster. I think? I hope. Bonfires save your progress. And when you die, you'll be back at the bonfire. There is no death in Dark Souls, it's just returning back to the last bonfire. That's it. Now we're going to approach our first non-boss. The look of this game is like completely beautiful. For a Switch game, like I know I'm playing it on a TV with a capture card to show you my gameplay, but it looks like phenomenal. Like it looks like the best possible version of the Xbox 360 running at 30 frames per second. Okay, there's a boss coming. We're just gonna avoid him though. Bye. Your best friend is your dodge roll. Wow. The tap of the B, you're dodging. Now we're gonna get our first what? Shield, arrow. You gotta equip stuff. In Dark Souls, nothing is automatically equipped. You have to put things in your left or your right hand. You can have up to 2 objects in each hand. So in my right hand here, I've got this broken sword, and in my left hand here, I'm gonna put the shield. Now to equip the shield, you hold L1. Holding L2 does a parry, and that makes sure that if they attack you, it leaves you open. Passive essence. That blocking. Let's put the glove on as well. you see, the sword hits for 20. The first metric there, 20, means how much it hits for. The club hits for 87. But it also weighs a bit more, but you know, who cares. Now we're going to follow this guy. As you can see, I'm a lot stronger all of a sudden. That is the light that usually cuts off different areas, but most of the time it's about a boss. When you see that, it means it's boss time. Oh, what's this? You see, exploring the game can lead to many... See, it's bullshit. That message is bullshit. And that happens. Sometimes you can just get shit messages. I don't see any illusionary walls. Well, we're going to create our own wall now. Oh, and Dark Souls is very interconnected. You see, we were just there. There's the fireplace. Now we're up here. See, I know from practice that a ball comes down and crushes you.
Oh, you.
And there's plenty of people with lots of lore to talk about.
I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Yeah.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission. But perhaps you can keep the torch lit.
Yeah, why not?
There's an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen. And thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite. Oh, and this.
Thanks, bud.
Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
The best thing you can do is actually to kill it. Yep. Just take it down. Pushing X on the controller will make you go into two-handed attacks. Two-handed attacks are very strong, but they use up a lot of stamina. I just want to get him dead. Because you were going to kill me. You were going to come back and kill me. End of story. Bye. This key opens this door here. I think? No? Oh well. You see, it's all interconnected. Go back on the shortcuts. The first thing you gotta learn with this game is that even the weakest enemies can take you out. That guy hit me once, and that's an eighth, almost. Oh, there you go. An eighth of my energy gone. Ah, yes. Kicking. Very useful. Very useful. You'll be kicking loads of enemies off. Come on. I'm not playing well. I'm playing foolishly. Ah, a backstab. There we go. I got him at just the right level. This go kill this guy here. Backstaboo! Nothing? Oh well. You will only get this key at a later point. And then you must come back here and it's a real mission. Anyway, time for your first boss. Target him with the R. And then just wow. Doesn't matter. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Usually after a fight, humanity, this is how I transform from a disgusting creature to a beautiful woman once again. And you see I get a lot of souls from this. If I click in the L key and I do certain maneuvers with the button, certain motions with the controller, I can, there we go. Point forward, point up. You get some real sweet ones. These suck currently. I don't like these. But let's bow. Should always bow before you start a fight. Anyway, below us is the other asylum demon. He's a piece of piss. Let's have some orange juice. I am the pilgrim. When you come back here, it's a different, more difficult story.
You give me.
Oh, I've got nothing to give you now. That bird will give you special metals and other items used for crafting. I will come back here for a really nice ring. And this is really your beginning of Dark Souls. The crow will take us to the promised land.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords.
You
Lordran.
Lordran. You're just gonna fuck shit up. The open worlded nature of the game begins now, and there's a few routes you can go, but only one's the correct route. The others they'll ruin your life. They'll wreck your shit. Like you'll explore anything. You have to. You complete the game. First things first, let's level up. Well, again, well, this is the end of the tutorial. We're going to level up. We're going to talk to some people. But first, we're going to look real snads. Thank you. By using humanity. See, that's a quality of life change. You need a certain amount of icons. I mean, a certain amount of. Go. Looking much better. Strength first, I think. Strength, yeah. And one, gotta keep that equipment load high. You want to keep your stamina going. Perfect. Perfect. Let's bullshit. Do not attack the NPCs and talk to them multiple times in order to get things from them.
Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here.
I don't know all of their names.
You'd have done
I don't know
better
his
to
name.
rot in
But
the
I know there's a lot of
undead asylum.
pricks who live here in
Too
Lordran
late
just want
now.
to fuck with you.
Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are actually
You'll
two
hear,
bells
when you play
of
this game
awakening.
yourself, you'll hear
One's
bells
up above
ringing in
the
Lordran
undead
on the
church.
bottom. I mean,
The other is
through most of the early areas,
far
and those are the
in the
players
ruins at
beating the
base
first
of
bosses.
Blighttown. Ring them
There are two
both,
bells to ring.
and something happened.
And the
Brilliant
first one is a
track.
very interesting
Not much to
journey.
go on.
You learn a lot.
But
Once
there's
you've rung that first
that
bell,
won't stop you.
you are
So,
prepared for the
off you
game,
go.
definitely.
It
And
is
once you've rung the
fine
second
game,
spell,
isn't
you
it?
will
This
100%
accursed
finish it
land of
because
the
you can face any
undead.
challenge at that point. Sorry, I spoke through his bullshit, but he's a bit of a prick. And I just end up usually just murdering him.
Oh, well, this one of the bells is up above.
that's
You
first.
have to climb the stairs. The other bell is within, but I die.
Don't worry, Blighttown's not so bad. Down here is just the pathway to utter pain. Through here. Through here is the crow. Hello. Someone just ran the great dog. And the path to the crypts. But you don't want to go down there yet. You'll just be completely decimated. Holding B helps you to run through water. Oh, the water effects. Very nice. Very nice. Much improved over the Xbox version. Really good. Ooh, what did these fools do? Ah, they jumped into... Ah, more humanity, perfect. We're going to use this to give us more potions. Is it already? Okay. There's one more person we can talk to before we gotta go. I just like to talk to him to start off this quest.
Hello there. I am Petrus of Thurland. If not,
keep talking. Always talk multiple times to them because there's,
that I
or you don't. If you don't exhaust their
here.
dialogue, you don't pick up
Take
all the
this.
goodies.
No.
Ah, useless. Absolutely
my.
useless.
Oh, I have to. So what would that?
Well, if you want to be a
Very
magic
well.
user, and I'm always
Then first,
like a
covenant with the
strength
gods.
dexterity build. Whatever. You can abandon and join covenants at will. There are some disadvantages of breaking a covenant, but really, who cares?
Now
You know, it's
let
all
me
good.
share my- Only
This piece of crap. The best gesture in the fucking game, besides another certain one. Let's add it instead of point forward because. Yeah, let's try that one. Oh god, it really is the best one in the whole game. Do that before every encounter and everyone will love you. Beautiful. As you explore Lordran, you will find that more and more people pop up here to help you, give you spells, sell you special items. For now, that's it. I'll leave you in the crew. And we're going to explore Lordran up to the first boss next time. And it's going to be a lot of fun.